We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
From Metro Detroit, this is HBL Radio Nation.
Hey y'all, how's it going? Welcome to HBL Radio Nation. I'm Diane Russell, and that is Brian Gallagher.
Brian B. Gallagher.
Yep.
had to kick it off right for the lighters because I'm remote tonight. Thank you, everyone, for putting up with me. Diane also said that I could start off tonight with a little something that I learned this week, which is really interesting. I think it's really interesting and something that's very important for us to all consider this year in an election year as we get close to the election. More and more misinformation and disinformation is going to be coming out. Some of that is from China and Russia. We know that. Some of it is from students and professors who are studying data and trying to collect data. We mentioned about a year ago, I went to a webinar as part of my day job and learning about AI. I made a whole big thing about how it's not sentience, it's not an actual intelligence, it's artificial intelligence. It's all about, you can go back and look at it. I don't want to duplicate myself. But the whole thing is right now you have stories that go out that make their way around the globe. Some professors want to find out how quickly it goes. Professor Tim Rice at MIT, he actually put a story out, I want to say 4 years ago at this point. We talked about this before. I know I'll be quick about it. He put a story out about 4 years ago about sometimes it's Apple, sometimes it's IBM, sometimes it's, Google, whoever. Somebody puts two AIs together and they start talking and they develop their own language in seconds. And then the developers get scared and they pull the plug. Have you heard this story? It's a complete bullshit story that Tim Rice and his students put together, and they put it out there to see how quickly a story like that, a fantastical story, would circle the globe. 4 years ago, that circled the globe in 2 minutes. He does this every year. Sometimes success, sometimes failure. This year, he did it, and he got it around the globe in 20 seconds. And the story was, and I'm not kidding you, I fell for this last weekend. I didn't forward it, but I fell for it. There was a video and pictures and everything of Rudy Giuliani at his birthday party with a guy in the background who has an Izod on, and it looks like he has some kind of an emblem on his thing, and he's clapping, and it all says, this guy sang happy birthday to Rudy Giuliani before serving him. This federal marshal saying, happy birthday to Rudy Giuliani before serving him. Isn't this great? And I'm like, that's awesome. That's incredible. That's great. I think I even liked it. But it turns out it's another bullshit story that a professor put out to see how fast that would get around the globe. And that was 20 seconds this time. So it's amazing what you can do with some of this stuff. They did serve Giuliani. That absolutely happened.
At his birthday party?
As he left the birthday party, once his foot was on the sidewalk, that's when they served him. An actual court server served him, because federal marshals don't serve warrants.
Right.
Court appointed servers serve warrants. So they did that right there. That actually happened. Giuliani finally got served. And last week, one of the big things that we were talking about is, where's Giuliani? We don't know. Are they going to serve him? Is he under the water somewhere? No, they actually finally served him. And that happened right after our show.
Right. Well, wow. Yeah, to put out, as a professor, to put that shit out is not cool, in my opinion.
That's right. Yeah.
And to teach his kids a lesson, but you got all these other people duped. It's just the same. It's the same. I don't know. It's the same horse. I've heard it on every show, and everybody was laughing about it. So, right. I don't know at this point. I don't even know what to believe. Right. So,
it's the facts that we need to focus on are that Giuliani got served.
Yeah, and that's all I give a shit about.
And that's really what we need to focus on, and what that's my point right there.
The Schadenfreude of having it done would be that. The other way would have been
having him drawn and quartered through the public quarter. Yeah, that would be.
No, just the Schadenfreude of it all would be cool, right? It's great for a laugh. But just the fact that he's been served is more important than how he was served, in my opinion. Motherfucker's a criminal.
And he already had to appear on that too.
Oh yeah, that happened pretty quick.
Yeah, and he was told if he didn't mute himself, he would be put on mute. Wasn't that Giuliani's appearance this week?
I don't know. All I remember is videos of him trying to sell his fucking coffee beans.
Jesus.
Bags of coffee.
Yeah. Whatever that guy is putting in his body, I don't want to buy.
You are a disgusting lawyer.
I think it's his only way of making any money right now is selling coffee.
Is that really the last resort that he has?
I don't know. I mean, that's the last I heard. Is him fucking.
I thought he sold his condo, right? I mean, that's why they couldn't serve him. He doesn't have like a fixed abode, shall we say?
Well, I think it's all up for sale, but I don't know if it's sold. Who the fuck would want to live there?
Right. Well, some Giuliani cultists might be there. I don't know. There are people of all.
Well, and doesn't he have it up for like an astronomical price, like $6 million, when it's like $2 million or $1 million or some bullshit?
Yeah, it dropped down pretty quick on the market. Yeah.
Oh, I can only imagine.
Oh yeah.
Well, we found out, just the other day, Tuesday, really. What? Tuesday, that Donald Trump advisors scanned and saved contacts of box that had classified documents. 4 more classified documents found in Trump's bedroom at Mar-a-Lago 4 months after the search warrant. And how come we're just finding out about this shit now? I'm wondering, like, what the fuck? Why are we finding out about this shit? So Lindy Lee goes, why are we finding out 2 years later that Trump kept stolen documents after the FBI search? Why are we finding out 3 years later that Justice Alito flew a coup flag, and now we found out about another flag since I wrote this. And why are
clear
we
message flag? Yeah.
Yeah. Why are we learning 9 years later about the New York Times and Trump collusion? Why are we learning decades later about Clarence Thomas's bribes? Total media fail is what she says. Just total media fail. We used to have journalists who would like dig into this shit. And Brian Karem, he's like, when I was in the White House press corps, I was like the oldest guy there. I'm the only guy who got a degree in journalism. All these young punks are coming in and they got their cell phones and their iPads and they're like super fast. But they don't know shit from Shinola. So, if this is what our media is made of, and how many journalists and everybody have been laid off, like, there are no newspapers anymore. They're all being shut down, going digital. And then you got the New York Times, like the oldest fucking newspaper, I think, in our country, just spewing fucking horse shit on a massive scale. You think, Donald Trump having more documents would be on fucking page 1? No. Where is it? I don't know. I never even saw it. But when it was Hillary Clinton's emails, it was on page 1 every fucking day.
Yeah, I don't do the paper stuff anymore, but I certainly see all the stuff. But there again, I see the algorithmic differences because I have a work machine and I have my personal machine. In my personal machine, I let fly and do whatever I want to do. And I see articles like I can pull up, and I've done this before. I've pulled up, say, USA Today, and I get one set of headlines on my personal machine, and I get a totally different set of headlines on my work machine. And it's because the algorithm is like, oh, this work person, they're not into this, they're not into that. So it's funny how it changes. It completely changes some of the headlines that you see on the exact same site.
Right.
And it's still just me looking at it. So what the hell? Well,
and then you've got Tucker Carlson launches a show on Russia State Television. Oh, this is not a joke, not a parody. Carlson is literally a paid Putin propagandist. Yeah. He's literally broadcasting his show on Russia television, RT.
He is, regardless of whatever argument they want to make, he is absolutely making money off of every showing. So therefore, he's getting a royalty from Russia for his show. He's getting money for his show from Russia playing it. So don't let anybody tell you that it's some kind of thing like, no, they're just replaying a bootleg copy. No, he's getting paid for this. Yeah.
Yeah. And then
I mean, it's his show.
And kind of along the same lines, okay, I was on Stephanie Miller, and everybody who's in Twitch, thank you guys for being here, but I don't know if you remember. Hi, Wonder Mom. Yeah, I know it started earlier than that. Anyway, Wonder Mom, you guys might remember a girl named Missy PA. I think it's Missy, Pennsylvania or whatever. She kind of, does headlines while we're on the show with Stephanie Miller. And the other day she said 3 sources tell NBC News vials of blood were sent to the RNC headquarters in D.C. and is under lockdown until further notice. Hazmat team is on the site, and then the all clear after the investigating for hazardous substances. So the hazmat team was cleared, but where the fuck were vials of blood sent there? And even not Kimmel, what's the other Jimmy Fallon made a joke about it on his show last night, but I haven't heard fucking peep about what the fuck was going. Why are there fucking vials of blood being sent to the fucking RNC? Are they making baby milkshakes, or what the fuck are they doing?
I don't know what the hell.
Again,
that could
another media fail. And how about last week? Another media fail when there was a journalist, and he was sitting in the courtroom and could see Donald Trump holding his paper up like this and taking notes about what he wanted all those Republicans to go out to the microphones and say. And he's like, literally, I can read it. I'm looking over his shoulder and I can read it. And 5 minutes later, they're all out there in front of cameras saying what that's another violation of the gag order. So, and he says it on live TV and nobody picks it up. And when it should have been, this fucking journalist should have been everywhere, all over the place going, oh yeah, I saw it verbatim, word for word. If I could have my cell phone, I would have taken a picture of it.
Yeah.
So
yeah, Marshawn is just
showing
that he's a Zen master at this point for not just exploding at him and putting him behind bars. I mean, he is just tested over and over and over and pushed beyond the boundaries every single time.
I know, but at least it's not in Marshawn's face where Robert Costello, get me one too, please. Robert Costello was literally like rolling his eyes and side-eyeing him and going, geez, and saying like still in front of the fucking judge. And he was like, oh, what are they, oh yeah, they always say strike it. And Costello says,
from the record.
Yeah, says strike it. He's like, I'm the only one who can strike it.
Yeah. That was classic.
Staring me down right now, like the judge.
And then he got all up and back up in his face. It's like, you're getting in my face, I'm getting in your face.
I mean, I know this happens in TV shows, but it does not normally happen in everyday. I mean, you work for a law firm. How many times have you heard a judge say clear the court?
Never in my profession, because I'm in data privacy, so I'm not a litigator.
Yeah. I know, but
amongst the attorneys that have been discussing this,
yeah,
they're all like, oh yeah, this one is like, he is getting such lax treatment. Like, normally a judge has no time for any of this. They are going to stomp it down from the get-go.
Yeah, but
this
what
is
about
going to be
Robert,
done in a half hour.
I'm not talking about Trump. I'm talking about Costello.
Costello
Costello got reamed out. You didn't hear about this?
Yeah, no. Yeah. You're right. Costello is the guy that
cleared
we're
the court.
talking about. Who? Sorry, I just hit that.
Yeah, he cleared the court and then reamed him out, and it was still on the record, so you could read the transcript of it, what he said.
Of course, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I've seen it in TV.
I didn't hear much past
law
it because
shows.
it just discredited him as a witness so much. I mean, the jury sees everything up to that point. They see the dismissal at that point. That's who you need to focus on, is the jury.
And
The jury sees this. It influences the jury.
Who else was the witness for the defense?
Who was the other guy? There was one other guy, and then they arrested.
Motherfucker piece of shit.
I can't think of the name right now, and I can't look it up. I'm logged into the chat. Hey, everybody.
Shit.
How you
I
doing?
can't remember. Well, yeah, because it probably was, forgettable because nothing happened and he said nothing and did
It was
nothing
procedural, is what it was.
Oh,
it was them trying to defeat something procedurally
I
that they
kinda know
got
what you
defeated
mean.
on. So it was another loss for them regardless. It does not look good for their case.
No.
At all. They're trying to spin doctor it in the court of public opinion, but they're toast. It's all right there. Weisenbergel, whatever his name is, he put the notes down right there,
Oh
and
my
he said,
God.
yeah, that's my handwriting, and that's it. They are done. They are toast.
Weiselberg, yeah, and he's in prison, and they could call him for the defense, but he's
Weiselbergenheimer.
he's in fucking prison. He's in Rikers for lying and fucking everything up and doing it for Donald Trump. He is in prison for Trump organization. That's the other thing that really fucking pisses me off, is that Trump's organization, Trump University, they've all been found guilty of fraud and all these other things.
You see this in bad television.
But it never happens. I saw that Wonder Mom. It never happens to him personally. This is the first criminal trial against him personally. Yes. Yeah. Because everything else has been against his business. And he does it that way so that he what do you call it, shields himself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just like
that's
somebody
absolutely right, yeah.
with like an LLC or something like that.
He has the protection of deflecting to other people and other people taking some responsibility for it, without it totally being on him. But this one is wholly on him. There's nothing else that he can do to, really talk his way out of this or deflect it onto anyone else. Plus, with that note, it's sealed. And anytime that anybody tells you that, but they showed that Cohen was a liar and he was a crook. And I'm like, well, yeah, he was a fixer. He was a liar and a crook as a profession. And anybody that does any type of law in New York will tell you those are all of your best witnesses, because they do have a grudge. So they're telling the truth at that point.
Yeah. And hey, he's already gone to jail for this motherfucker.
And there are 2 attorneys on the jury. 2. Keep that in mind. They are going to stick them to the orders from the judge. They're going to stick them to the credible aspects of the facts in front of them. Everything else is metadata or circumstantial around it. They have to focus on the facts, and they have 2 attorneys on the jury. I'm very happy about that. I think that they are going to definitely come back, and they're going to come back fairly quickly because they have a long weekend to kind of think about this.
Oh yeah, and chill out, relax, and then look at the closing arguments and they'll go into deliberations. Okay. Big Stuff Fan says, Weiselberg lied about not being involved with lying about the square footage on the penthouse, and the realtor was in the courtroom and went to the prosecution or the DA and told them that they had proof that Weiselberg is lying, saying he was not involved in it.
Right.
Or it was an appraiser, So, yeah. Just lie. Well, that's the thing. it's hard to keep your lies straight. It's way easier to keep the truth straight.
Yeah, the second you got to juggle anything, the second you need a fixer, you're just doing it wrong.
Yeah.
You went wrong somewhere, kid.
I think it was Forbes that had the goods on Weiselberg. I don't know. She said Weaselberg.
May they all burn in hell.
Weaselberg. I like that. Yeah.
Yeah, we do have. Thank you guys, everybody on YouTube and Twitch for hanging out with us. We do appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Please like, subscribe, and follow, and I don't know, whatever you
This
do
Bud
over there.
Light's for you.
And
If I can get it open, hold it.
you can now call into the show, which is our new favorite feature. And the number is 248-780-9775. And apparently...
Standard rates and apply, man.
Apparently, standard
rates and fees
apply.
Yes.
And why do we have to say that, Brian?
We have to get used to saying that because there's a whole legalese thing about it. And a lot of attorneys told me, if you're going to have people calling in, especially long distance potentially, you have to tell them standard rates and fees apply.
Well, we're not.
So that they're not shocked if they call us from like another country. It might be a long distance for them.
Yeah, I think
it
we
depends
already
on
know
their
that.
carrier.
We already know that from
Yeah.
but I don't know about. I don't think we've had it long enough to know if anybody who has called in has gotten charged for it. And
Let
holy
us know,
shit!
and we might send you a print it yourself sticker.
No, seriously, you guys keep an eye out.
Sorry.
For your phone bills, because I'd really like to know if you guys are charged to do this. If you're charged to do it, fuck that, and we'll shut it down.
It should just be a standard call. Yeah.
I don't understand why, because it's through. That's what I'm saying. I don't understand why it would be a charged because it's through Google.
No, I don't think there is, but you just have to cover yourself just by saying standard rates and fees apply, meaning that if somebody from Canada calls, there's going to be an international rate.
Right.
That's going to be applied. So they can't be expected to be like, I didn't know it was going to be like, $4 a minute, like, if I'm calling from Canada,
Well,
but they should know that because that's up to them and their
Yeah.
carrier. That's
why
what you have to say.
Steve doesn't call in from Scotland. That's why I think Mad Mac doesn't call in because I think he's over there too.
Exactly. But they can still chat with us.
Well, that's
and
why
they can
we
still
have,
zoom in with us too.
Well, that's why we have our chat open.
Exactly.
Yeah. And our comments open. You guys are always.
We don't want anybody to spend any more than they have to.
Call from P-E-T-R-A-Z.
Petrazi.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail.
Hi, Petrazi.
Hello.
Hey.
How's it going, hon? Thanks for being our first caller today.
Yeah, thought I'd call. I'm making dinner, so it'd be a nice thing to do, talk to you guys. Because I got something to say, man, with these stupid Republicans going off about how, oh my God, that Joe Biden has tried to assassinate Trump. Isn't that the stupidest shit you've ever heard?
It is.
Again.
It is because that sharpshooter would have to make a 1,192 mile shot because they were up in New Jersey at the time. Everyone knew that. And plus, if there was an assassination order out, they would just assassinate him the next
Marjorie
day.
Taylor Greene's tweet.
I know.
She's such
That's
a
nuts.
fucking twat, I swear. Oh.
Yeah, she's
I think it's
awful.
funny.
And no, again,
nuts.
Brian, part of your beginning, your intro, a lie spreads around quicker than the truth can get its pants on. That's been a trope for a long time, and it's like, this fucking bitch. That
Margie Three Toes.
Neanderthal fucking Barney Rubble.
Goonie Gooku.
What is it? Barney Rubble, not test dummy.
She got like Barney Rubble feet.
No, Barney Rubble,
Pretty rubble feet.
what the
That's
fuck?
horrible, but
I
that's
forget
true.
Anyway,
Well,
she's awful, and for her to say that is awful, and everybody knows it's not true. Yeah, Barney Rubble's body double. That's what it is.
Barney
I mean, you know,
Rubble's body
I had a
double.
cousin
That's
who was
great.
had got a search warrant, and all the paperwork says that shit. I mean, come on, do they really think their face is that stupid?
I
I
saw
guess they are.
Frank Flaguzzi on earlier, just before we went on, and he's like, "Can you imagine if they were the higher ups told him, don't show up. It's Donald Trump. Don't show up with your gun." He's like, even well-trained FBI agents they never leave without their gun. You never know who is going to meet you at the front door when you knock on a door. Even if it's a former president of the United States, it could be one of these loons who work for him. They don't fucking know.
Yeah. Well, we just had those poor marshals in North Carolina who were killed because of that nutbag shooting them up while they were trying to serve a search warrant too.
Yeah,
I mean, that's their job.
Frank brought that up in his segment. Yep.
It's like, good God. Anyways, I just wanted to comment about that because that stupid bitch, she just rubs me the wrong way, and I would love to see that smug smile fall off her face one day.
Oh, it will.
I don't
That's all I
know.
wanted to
Well,
say
that's
today.
the thing, you guys. Like, I don't know if her county's going to vote her out. Didn't they already have a fucking chance to do that and they failed?
When she goes bankrupt, her steroid dealer is going to go broke. And I really feel bad for that guy.
I don't know, you guys.
I heard she was from
She
the
looks like
most
she's jacked
racist
up on
county
steroids all
in
the time.
Georgia.
So.
Wait, go ahead, Petrazi. I'm sorry.
Yes, sir.
Oh, I said I heard she was from the most racist county in Georgia.
That's what I mean.
So
Makes sense.
I feel
that
like
right there might keep her in. Yeah.
I feel like that right there is her. She is actually the representative of her constituents. Because if they are as racist and piece of shit as she is, well, then she'll just stay in there.
Yeah, they got their girl.
Oh my God.
That's horrible to think, ain't it?
That's their poster girl.
No, that's a terrible. I don't even know. Like how, Tony, can you look up really quick how many people are in her district? How many people live in MTG's district? Like that's when I wish I had a Siri, but I never, ever really want one ever.
Yeah. Well,
another
I
fucking
don't know.
thing I
just
gotta
think
pay
it's
for.
ridiculous how they're all getting up in arms over this shit, and it's like, please, people, I swear, they got to dig down so deep because they have nothing to, this guy's just bad news, period.
Well, I think it's that hate. It's like they hate who Marjorie Taylor Greene hates who they want to hate. And I mean, literally, is in the most gerrymandered county. Is it really? Oh my God.
Oh yeah, it must be. It's got to be like, a Tetris game around where she's at.
Well, I got a lot of counties like that here in Kentucky.
Everybody's got them now.
Thomas Massey is our representative, but I live by Covington, which is a big city, and there's a lot of diverse people there, and they don't vote for him. But he gets a lot of the rural areas.
I don't see the number.
That combined all into each other, and that's why he keeps winning.
Look at those weird, skinny little avenues of the district.
Jesus.
When you say, check out the district map.
Tony looked it up, and there's
your,
779.
your county, and look at how crazy some of the, some of the little pathways are. Some of them are just down one street.
Yeah.
Tony
looked it up. There's 779,000 people in her district. 780,000 people. And all of them are that racist? I have a hard time believing that.
Yeah, I have a hard time believing that too. Yeah.
If it was a town of like 20,000, okay.
Yeah. Well,
no, but if she won,
here,
then 60% of the voters.
Massey here, because in my area where we live, there's a lot of diverse people, but the fact that he gets all them rural people on the outside, and they're all combined together, he always wins, and it just sucks.
We got to get more people to get out there and vote blue. That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
We got to fly that blue flag. We got to be proud of it. We got to tell them that, hey, look, we're not the crazies. We're
Well, I
not
was
coming
surprised
to
that
abort
Trump only
babies
got
after they're
85%
born.
of Kentucky. So that was kind of odd.
And speaking of flags, I mean, then now we got to move on to the Alito story. My God. This dude,
Oh, I can't stand him either.
while January 6th was going on, he's got an upside down American flag on his house.
Yeah.
And wherever
Blames his
DC or
wife.
Virginia or wherever the fuck that is. And
Spectacular guy move.
And now we find out that for an even longer period of time, the what is it? The pine tree. What does it say on it? I forget.
It's
Something
Oh,
religious.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
it's a
That one
reference to
Washington
Christian
had
nationalism.
when he
Christian
crossed
white
over to
nationalism.
Delaware,
Yeah,
but
and it represents
yeah.
Christian white nationalism, and it was on
Yes.
his vacation home on the Jersey Shore.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like "What would
Yeah.
God do?" or "Back to
Yeah.
God's doing."
God.
Or, I forget. I have no idea what it's like. 4 words or something like that. But it's a reference
Is it
back to all these
it's not
white
the one that
nationalist
says
groups.
an appeal to heaven, is it?
Yeah, that's the one.
With the pine tree? Yeah, an appeal to heaven. Yeah.
Is
yeah.
it an appeal to heaven or an appeal to God? Yeah, an appeal to heaven. I think it is. Yeah.
An
Yeah.
appeal to heaven. Yeah, because I've
Yeah.
seen lots of people around here fly those flags. Yeah. It's a
Yeah.
military thing, I think, but I don't know.
It's
I
from
really
the
don't know what it is.
Revolutionary War.
That's also a mental deficiency thing too.
It's from the Revolutionary War, that flag.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I don't
Well,
know. No, it seems like nobody can hear me.
I just want to say one more thing really quick before I leave, get off here. On my way to the pharmacy today, I did see one sign on a house that was in the main roadway, and it said Trump 2024, and it literally said, "Take back America." And I was like, holy shit. These fucking people, it's like...
They're not
they're just-
hiding it.
No. And they're like telling us that, come on, we want to fight you fuckers. You know, they're ready to fight. It's so
You
crazy.
stand strong,
I
you
don't
vote
know.
blue, you get as many other people to vote blue as you can, because we got to win this war, and we will win
Fuck
this
yeah,
war.
we do.
And they're a cult that has been absolutely radicalized by him. Every time we see it, every time he says something awful, we see more violence.
I know it.
Every
Yeah,
time.
Exactly.
Jan 6 is another but great example. I don't want to see it
Yeah.
again. That's for sure. Petrazi, thank you so much for calling in. We love you, girl.
No problem.
Thank you so
Thanks,
much.
Diane. You guys have a good day.
Thanks, love.
I'll
We'll
talk to you
see ya.
later.
See ya.
All right, bye.
And don't forget to like and share and subscribe and give away gifts to your friends and tell them about the show when you give them gifts, because you should give them gifts because you're friends with them. Just for fun. I'm just throwing that out there. I don't know.
It's stochastic terrorism. That's what it is. We have to use the right language. We have to use the right language. It's stochastic terrorism. He's inciting violence. He's done it before. He's going to do it again. What did Adam Schiff say?
The Reich reference?
United
Come
Reich?
on.
Oh, God, for fuck's sake. This whole thing.
Does that not put it over the top for everybody? I mean, he approved it.
You
It's
got
in
Tucker
there.
Carlson in Russia over there. And yeah, that's why I called it Dictatorship is Coming. Malcolm Nance was screaming, going, "Dictatorship is coming, motherfuckers. That's why we got to do this. Unless we stop it." David Hogg said one party put Unified Reich in their advertising, wants to arm teachers, ban birth control, including condoms, and the other doesn't. Both parties are not the same. And that was referring to Trump says he's looking at contraception restrictions.
Yeah.
And I really don't want
Flopped like a fish
Trump
on that back and forth depending on the polls.
Yeah, I really don't want Trump, the Supreme Court, the Republican Party, telling me what birth control I can and cannot take. And then we found out that the Republicans in Louisiana have classified the abortion pill as a controlled and dangerous substance. And it will be a crime to possess. So they're openly plotting to make contraceptives illegal. And we knew this was coming. We said this was coming after they overturned Roe. Everybody said we were hysterical.
Dude, come on. They're throwing at that, their fake assassination attempts against their leader at us. At this point, what in the ever living fuck?
Well, and just so you know, every search warrant has the same rules.
Yeah.
Everybody's armed. Shoot to kill if you must, if you need to. Difference is,
I was going to say those rules apply regardless of who you are. If they're showing up, if they face a threat, of course they have to address the threat.
And
it's written right there in the overall documentation.
The major difference is that Donald Trump wasn't fucking there. His Secret Service got the heads up that the FBI was coming.
He was
and
in
he
Westminster.
fucking took off. He fucking took off. And the other difference is that Joe Biden says, holy shit, I found this. You guys better come over. And Jill probably fucking baked cookies, for fuck's sake. You know what I mean? Like, I got this shit, you guys. Come on over. No need, the fuck?
Nice.
So,
You're right back.
Yeah, it's damning that Trump kept 2 rounds of stolen documents even after the FBI searched. What's worse is Trump's theft of the CIA intel coincided with a huge spike in murdered agents. CIA even issued a global alarm. Trump didn't just steal. He's a traitor. He's a traitor that shed blood. And Cannon, Judge Eileen Cannon, this fucking Judge Eileen Luz Cannon, you bitch. Come on, somebody do something, get her fucking ass out of there.
I think we have to let Cannon play out, and the appeals court is where we're going to easily.
We have a 617 phone call coming in.
Whatever bullshit she throws at us. Be prepared to absorb the bullshit at first.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press...
Hi, Allie.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Hello.
Hey. Hello. So, obviously, they either want the Project 2025, which we've been talking about, or, they want it just like the guys at Flashpoint, that, you can only believe what they tell you to believe, and, Trump will be the leader until he drops down dead, and, it'll be just the super, MAGA way, and hopefully they'll learn that, people aren't that stupid, that there's enough, Democrats and adults in the room. Unfortunately, we can't tell by social media, but hopefully in the real world, and I have talked to some African Americans too that go, oh, this Trump is crazy. No way I'm voting for him anymore.
Well, he
even if they don't know about Project 2025, they just go, he just, it's too much crazy shit. He's like even Trump has been saying it. Oh, everything's on steroids. I said, well, not all of us have roid rage, pal.
It's a fire hose of fuckery.
Else.
It's a fire hose of fuckery. And
Yeah.
we've been faced with it for the last decade. It's actually coming at us for the last...
not even fire hose. It's like Niagara Falls. And they think they're going to spread it everywhere, It's enough. So, I mean, I couldn't even believe it. Even a friend of mine was saying that they're trying to steal from, what was it, Timothy, chapter 2, verse 4. That they have itchy ears, but what that actually means is they want to believe everything they hear, especially if they agree with it. That's basically what it means. So in other words, Trump, MAGA, or all his friends are right, even if the rest of the world says,
That they're
the
wrong.
election was wrong, the election was lost, and
If you
all that.
agree to
They
this
just wanna hear what they
craziness,
wanna hear.
they allow you in your tribe. At
Yeah,
that
yeah,
point,
so-
really is what it is.
Yeah, super religious and biased confirmation, and they just want to believe that Trump is right. And it's like, okay, guys, I can understand one trial, maybe two. Maybe if you're that paranoid, you think that they were a conspiracy, but more than that, no, that's not a conspiracy. Because
You almost
nobody,
want to
nobody
compare
wants
Trump
to waste
to
their
L.
time,
Ron
money,
Hubbard.
and lose their job for fake trials, and they don't seem to understand that.
Yeah.
What you say? What do you want to say, Brian?
I was going to say, you almost want to compare, Trump's cultism to L. Ron Hubbard and his start of Scientology. It's like L. Ron Hubbard said at one point, if I was going to, move to try to be the richest man in the world, I would invent a new religion. He said that at one point. And then 20 years later, he started a new religion. Trump at one point said, if I was going to enter politics, I would do it as a Republican because they're so gullible. And 20 years later, I think, he entered politics as a Republican. It's astonishing.
Because they said, because I know Republicans in the year 2000, and they said that he was going to be super Reagan, he was going to be able to get away with everything. They were going to be able to convince everybody that he's super corporate God, and how dare you question him? And I said, you do realize this is a reality TV star, a failed realtor, and he has a lot of charges of sexually harassing women, right?
Yeah.
And they went, no, Trump is perfect. I said, okay. I said, you guys are dumb. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard, and I'm not friends with any of you anymore. You choose Trump, you're stupid. And they were like, oh my God, such blasphemy. I said, good. Because you got to be kidding.
Get out of here.
Choosing this guy. Yeah, you got to be crazy if you're choosing this guy. But I guess that's what, And like I said, Brian and Diane, the guys from Flashpoint that Hal used to show all the time. I mean, can you imagine you get on TV and they actually prayed, God, and make the judges change their mind and do what Trump says or do what Trump wants. I mean, talk about a cult. That's even worse because you're praying on TV in front of everybody and saying that Trump is perfect. He's just a man. Nobody's perfect.
Have you seen some
False
of the
prophet.
footage
False prophet.
of them when they leave the court and they say, look at all this footage. Isn't this great footage of us coming home? Look at all these people who came out to see us. And it turns out it's from like 5 years ago and it's from Biden showing up or something like that.
Yeah, no, that's the only other saving grace is that any Republican that has any good friends or good family or good wife or good relatives are finally saying to them, enough with this Trump worship. That's the only other saving grace.
Yeah, they lost their friends. They lost their family because they're a fucking Trumper. And by the way, Big
Oh,
Steph fan.
no. Right,
Hold
but
on.
I'm talking about people that aren't brainwashed. They still want to vote for him, but they're not brainwashed as in, I believe in anything
If you're going to
Trump
vote for
says
him,
and
you're
this is-
brainwashed. Period.
Yeah.
Big Steph
Yeah.
fan says, the FBI got homemade chocolate chip cookies and milk at the Biden's house. Let's spread that rumor.
Yeah, of
Let's
course.
spread it. Let's spread it everywhere.
Yeah, no, that's right. So that's another, right, like you were saying, Diane, people don't talk about Biden's accomplishments enough.
Birds ain't real.
So
bro.
that's the whole thing. Trump and his buddies want to act like Trump is still president, he's perfect, and Biden is the worst. And the problem is that has been the message for 8 months, and we need to flip that around and say no. That's not the way that is. If you want to, believe all the right wing, you can, but that's not the way the world actually works. That's why there's more than one party. And the problem is Trump only wants his party and what he wants or what he agrees with, and that's a dictatorship, a cult, whatever you want to call it. But it ain't healthy. That's for damn sure.
Allie Osher,
Yeah.
did you see the Comedy Central Jordan Klepper thing where he was trying to figure out where the Russian disinformation came from, and
No.
because he was going to all the Trump rallies, and he
No, I
kind of
didn't see
traced
that.
it back. He traced it right back to Russian propaganda from channels that are made in Russia. They sound like they're from here. They're not
Yeah.
from here, and that's where it starts. And when you go back in the chain, it all comes literally out of fucking China, mostly Russia, and other places too, but mostly Russia. And so
Well,
you
yeah.
no wait, hold on. And you literally have Republicans wearing T-shirts saying, "I'd rather be Russian than a Democrat."
Right. Well, but that's the other issue, is the fact that that's the other reason why it's not good to be a Republican, because they worship symbols, they worship military uniforms, they worship dictatorships, like we talked about the other day.
They
the
worship
Latin
a blue
culture about
suit
the
and a red
Catholic
tie.
and all that. You know.
They worship a
Yeah.
blue suit and a red tie, and they all look like fucking clowns out there wearing the
Right.
same fucking outfit. It's
We
like a
know this, but
uniform.
how do we win?
Right. Plus, if you live in a democracy, that has nothing to do with Cuba, China, or Russia, and they don't
Right.
want that. They don't want the competition, because
Right.
remember, millions of people have left Russia, China, and Cuba. The ones that weren't killed or have given up and said, "Oh, I'm going to die here." So what's the best thing to do? Try to convince everybody that your way is right.
Everybody's against China in the public, but when they order their stuff, they all get it all through Temu.
It's all made in
That's
China.
all straight through there.
Quit using
Well,
Temu.
I mean,
Quit
yeah.
using TikTok.
Well, no,
And
I mean
TikTok,
that
yeah.
has changed. I don't use TikTok because I do believe that's malware.
There you go. Thank you.
But I do know a couple of Twitch streamers and former Twitch streamers that do fight MAGA on TikTok. So, there might be some good that comes out of that, maybe.
Yeah, it's a little, and they're using it to get your information. It's not. China's using it to get your information until if they sell it to an American company, which I fucking highly doubt they will, but whatever. And I know
Well,
there's
like I said, I
a lot
I
of
don't
good
use
streaming.
it, but I know people that do.
Hold on, I know there's a lot of good streaming that comes out of TikTok. Like that one guy who calls out everybody. What's his name? Tizzy something. I like him, and he tries to call out a lot of
Is he
things.
the
and
one that
it's-
does it in the car?
No. So anyway,
Sorry.
well, thanks, Allie, for calling in. I really appreciate
Thanks,
it,
Alan.
and we love
Yeah,
you,
no
brother.
problem. Thanks a lot, guys.
Thanks, hon. So yeah,
See, Allie.
it's been.
Shout out
That's
to
it.
you, family.
It's because it's like a fucking Niagara Falls of fucking fuckery.
My volume on the callers is like way higher than my volume on you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, Tony keeps pushing it away from me and telling you I'm screaming into the microphone. So, like the his metaphor there of, Niagara Falls of fuckery.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
have to now, our brain can only handle so much. Got Alito doing this. You got the Fonnie Willis fucking fuckery, and they're digging in her fucking panties. At least she won. Thank God she won 87% of her fucking vote in her primary. 87% of the vote in Fulton County. Those people want her there. Anyway, no, but all this fuckery, and you've got
All the stories about how nobody's behind you.
you've got
She
the
got 80%.
yeah, you've got the appeal. Everybody in Trump orb appealing everything until it's goes up to the Supreme Court, which is fucked. You know what I mean? It's just like when you get all this, when you keep That's why we have to win this
Sorry.
election, people, so that we don't have to
You have
deal.
to. Yeah.
We don't have to deal with this shit anymore. We win the House, we win the Senate, and the presidency in fucking numbers so fucking big, and we take over a lot, so we've got a bigger majority in the House, in the Senate. Fuck. Do you know how much shit
And
we
then you
can
need
get
to
done?
kick that fucking door down.
That's right. Need to kick the fucking
Exactly.
door down. Enough is enough. I think we're all tired of it. All of us are exhausted.
I have a question. I want everyone to be part of this blue wave. I want everyone to be involved in it. But the whole thing is that when you're surrounded in some situations by some people who are maggots all over if your county has maggots all over it, and by maggots, I mean people who are flying Trump flags, people who are, all complete right wingers. It seems a little scary to do anything. And I would like to say that you don't need to fly a flag. You just need to vote, and you need to vote blue. And we need to make certain that everyone listening votes blue. Get all of your relatives to vote blue if they can, especially every woman, because as Diane will tell you, the women's reproductive rights are holy shit on the line. Women, we need every woman to vote blue. Everyone. We need everyone who loves a woman to vote blue. Everyone who's been birthed by a mother, vote blue. Come on.
It's such a massive war on women.
It's insane.
Literally, they're going after, they want to take our vote away. They want to go back to, they want to take Jim Crow away. They want to take public schools away. They want to do, there's the damage that they want to fucking do to this fucking country. It's insane. And the other scary thing to me is that I heard Karen from Chicago on Stephanie Miller the other day. She goes, I was talking to a friend and she didn't even know that Roe had been overturned. And I'm like, what the fuck rock have you been fucking living under? How can you not know that Roe has been overturned for the last 2 fucking years?
Wow.
How can you not know this? How can you not have heard this? And then a lot of people don't know about Project 2025. I'm trying to get some bullet points on Project 2025. The problem is there's so much damage. It would take 5 shows to cover all the fuckery they want to fucking literally. It's when people don't know because they tune out because of all the shitholes of fuckery.
Yes.
That's when they tune out and they get discouraged. They get depressed. They have their own fucking problems at home to deal with. We all have our own shit to deal with, right?
But some of the situations, I mean, maybe even tonight we heard about a situation where someone was living in a neighborhood where everyone around them was a maggot, flying a Trump flag, all this kind of shit. If you need to go underground and make certain that you just vote blue. Make certain you get your relatives to go underground with you and vote blue. You don't have to go out there and broadcast it. That's dangerous nowadays.
Well, if you're surrounded
you just
by
have
maggots,
to vote blue.
But I would say women need to talk to other women and make sure that they know about fucking Roe. And that they know that they literally
understand that's a thing.
Project 2025 literally wants to turn America into Handmaid's Tale. Literally. No education. They want no FBI, CIA, NSA, all of it. Bye-bye. What? Your vote is private. Your vote is private from salary. Yes, you can go in there. You can talk all the game with your friends you want. and
Yeah.
be like, "Oh yeah, I'll vote for Trump." And bing, 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 bada boom, bada bing.
Game over,
But go
man.
in there.
I have
and
said this
vote
before.
Democrat all the way down the ticket.
I walked out of a bar one night and I walked into a handful of skinheads. What the hell do you think I did?
Think I'm gonna
I needed to save my life and get my ass home. So as I walked past them and they held up their flyer, I said, no, I'm already a brother. And I kept walking and they're like, all right. And they, I think they started Zeke Heil or something after yelling out, like, speak American.
Nihilist.
That's a true story, though. The first part of that is a true story. I did walk out of a bar in Ferndale, Michigan. And yeah, I had to deal with that. And I had to be like, well, I'm walking out of here tonight. So I'm going to bullshit my way through this crowd that wants to hear something that I'm going to say. So I'm going to say it and get to my car and get the fuck out of here. And that's what of course, that's what anybody would do.
If there was 20, if you were with 20 of your friends.
I was alone.
That's what I'm saying. If you were with 20 of your buddies.
Now, here's the thing. I was alone and I could take on probably 3 or 4 guys, but I walked into about 10 or 12.
That's what I'm saying.
I walk into 10 or 12 guys. I'm like, I'm with you guys. Whatever they're going to say, I'm going to say it until I can scoot past them and get in my car and get the ever living fuck out of there, because that's what I did. I just, and I made it out alive that night. So I was happy.
Celery, what you're saying right now just proves to me that we need to be more vocal, and men need to be more vocal too, not just women. You fuckos. Pointing at you two assholes. Anyway, yes.
What the hell did I do this time?
I was
get
shocked.
yelled at every show. What am I getting yelled at on this show?
The men need to be more vocal about Roe. Celery says, I was shocked hearing that on Randy that a Gen Z woman didn't know about Roe. And she heard that on Randy Rose.
Insane.
I heard it on a different fucking show. So that proves to me that this message is not getting out to the women who need to fucking hear it. Because I'm sure they have daughters and nieces.
Is NPR covering any of this?
I don't know. I don't listen to NPR because it's just too both sidesy for me.
Well, it's a wider. Okay.
Fight or flight. Yep. Fight or fight from Steve. Yeah.
Yep.
Real men respect women 100%. Hi, Suzanne. Yeah, it's enough is enough, man. We're not going back. You're going to take us with our scraping
Game
our
over,
fucking
man.
fingernails.
Game over.
We're not. It's not going to be. No. I just don't see it being an easy road for any of these motherfuckers who are like literally think they're going to get away with this.
No.
I don't know. I mean, they can get away with it through the
Fuckery
courts.
does not pay off anymore. It gets addressed because that kind of attitude will not stand, man. It just won't. That's the whole thing. If we look at this, we have all kinds of, well, I'm sorry. I'm getting preachy.
Fuck it, man. Just stay away from my fucking lady friend.
Yeah, party affiliation is published. Speaking of published, Tony, is this phone number connected to our phones? Because I'm getting all sorts of weird fucking texts now. Is it connected to my phone?
No. It was connected to mine, but I turned it off.
Oh, well, it's connected to mine then.
No, it isn't.
Well, last time
All I'm saying is I'm getting
there,
so many fucking weird texts now.
Picked
It's
up your
insane.
phone and I went to some questionable sites. So I don't know, maybe.
Oh. That's
Of
what
course
it
I
is.
didn't, but
Yeah, it could be WhatsApp.
Yes, it is.
No, I just get a lot of weird texts out of the blue. I have no idea who these people
Pretty
are.
bird. Yeah, can you say pretty bird?
Yep. Protect yourself. Vote blue. Go ahead. Do it. You can do it behind the scenes. And don't forget, ladies, you know, in southern states, they want to fuck with you. So get all your information together. Get your
In southern states,
birth certificate, marriage license, the changing of your name when you got married.
Yes.
All of it.
Yes.
And your ID, whatever ID you have. Bring it all just
That's
in
brilliant.
case they try to fuck with you.
That's brilliant.
On the day of voting, and do it now. Get all your paperwork together now so you have it ready when you have to vote. And they can't turn you away. And if they do turn you away, you get a provisional ballot. Isn't that what it's called? A provisional ballot?
It could be, but remember that this is a state where they allow the child marriages, so you have to bring everything that you can, take everything that you can, and everything that you're saying is absolutely appropriate.
I don't think we're going to have a problem here in Michigan, but I'm talking about southern states where they are really trying to
that's what I'm saying. In the southern states,
and then
where
also,
that's allowed. Yeah, not in Michigan. No.
And then also, the other thing I was going to say is, don't just vote blue and Dem all the way down, because when you do that, it skips the judges at the bottom.
Stop and click everybody on the blue.
Yeah.
Right.
So we'll know who you're going to vote.
Take the time to click all the blues.
But you got to know what judges you're going to vote for before you get there. You've got to do your research, because you could find an article about a judge who, put a woman in jail for having a miscarriage. And so
then he flipped over and became a Dem, got voted in, and then flipped back.
You have to click them all individually. That's true. And some claim they will throw out a provisional ballot. Best to register now. Yeah. Register now. Make sure all your shit is in line. The thing is, Big Stefan, is that what I'm worried about is they're just going to clear voter rolls of women's names. That would be so easy. Amy, Jennifer, Shawanda, whatever it is. I don't care. I could just see them doing that fuckery last minute in Republican states and Secretary of States and all the fuckery.
And don't let anybody
what I'm saying is just be prepared.
Disparage you by anybody saying that, well, this number of people were registered to vote and this number of people voted, and, that doesn't make any sense. There's a whole aspect of people actually die like on a daily basis. And when you're talking about a national election, people are going to die between the time that the election roll goes out and the election votes come back. And sometimes, yes, someone who died is going to vote, but they died within the last month or so when they actually made that vote. Don't let the right try to distract you.
Yeah.
Say it's bullshit.
Hi, moms.
Hi, babe. How you doing?
Good.
Hello.
How are you?
Hello. Hi, Brian.
Hi. How are you, moms?
Moms, I just want to read this real quick. How about this Ohio thing that came out about taking President Biden off the ballot? Now, I heard that yesterday. I don't know if they can do it. If they can't do it with Trump, then how the fuck can they do it with Biden? But go ahead, Mom.
He's an incumbent.
Right.
They can't.
They technically can, because his name has to be submitted as the person who's running for that party by a certain date. And the DNC doesn't do their meeting until after that date. So they have to try to get special dispensation. So that's the thing. And of course, the fuckery, they're going to try to keep it from happening, try to keep him from getting his name on there. But, it'll end up going to court just like everything else.
Yeah. Big delays and all that. Yeah.
Anything to delay it all. But mostly what I was calling to talk about is you're talking about preparing before you go into the voting booth. And what I do, and it's something that maybe you guys might want to think about as far as for your state, because I can't really do it nationally. I can only do it for my state or my county, is I get my mail-in ballot, and I go through it online, and discuss everything that's coming up, so that whenever they write the extra stuff, they always put in all this legalese that a lot of times will actually make it mean the opposite of what you think it means. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So you have to really read it, and who's really good at it is Pops. And Pops and I will sit there and talk about it, and then I use what we talked about in the video so that I can help people who maybe don't know how to vote from home, vote by mail, or don't know because they don't research. Nobody researches anything. And so if they don't want to research, I'll research it for you, and I'll give you all the info. You know what I mean? So that's kind of a thing that I do for the folks here locally and for my friends and whatnot. So it's something all of us who are smart and pay attention and have been paying attention for years now, each of us can do this for the people that we can reach. It's super simple to do. You turn the camera on and start talking. Yep.
That's why we started these two shows.
Nicely said.
So, Moms, you're in Florida, right? And so I know there's a bunch of Democrats there that have really good chances like that. What's her name? Rebecca Jones, the chick that was calling out the COVID numbers. She won.
Right.
And
it's going to be tough because it's really hard to get the young people motivated to go out and vote, and that's why the Republicans have won so much in Florida of late, let's say the last decade and a half, because if you remember correctly, Barack Obama won Florida not once but twice. How is that possible in a red state like this? Because everybody got off their ass and went and voted. But on any other time of the year, they don't vote. They don't vote in the midterms. They don't. I've had a guy in Congress, Representative Posey, who's been in since Christ was a corporal, for God's sake, and he does nothing. He has submitted no bills. He has done absolutely nothing for Brevard County, Florida. Yet he still keeps getting back in because he's old school, the good old boys. And he went to school with 90% of the people in Brevard County. So they all just vote for him. And we can't get the youngins out there to do it. But I think that the abortion, bodily autonomy being on our ballot, as well as
marijuana,
recreational pot.
Yeah.
Because I've been on medical for years. Believe me, I would rather not have to pay the doctor $200 a year just to go spend all that kind of money. But anyway, I digress.
Wait. Hold on. That's the coolest thing ever. I just want to stop you right there. Roe and legal weed is on the ballot in Florida. Now, I was a musician there for a decade. Can I tell you what that's going to do?
Thanks.
Go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt, but go ahead.
Perfect levels, Tony.
No. Sorry, got a little verklempt there laughing, but yeah, it's crazy. But I think that will draw a lot of people out. Thank goodness, and I'm really pushing it as hard as I can. I've had to put a lot of people on the list, which are the people who I've known since high school, and they insist on fighting with me about Trump, and I don't necessarily want to unfriend them because that's how I find out about other people from school. But I definitely put them on mute, and they don't see any of my political posts. I even had to do it to several family members. So if you don't know how to do that, look it up online. You can do it. It's so easy. You just put them in acquaintances, and then whenever you're posting, instead of posting to friends, you post to your friends, accept acquaintances, and boom. All those people don't come back and comment on your shit anymore and drive crazy.
Right.
Because Steely was
attack
asking
them
me,
pretty
Steely
much
Dan.
directly myself, but yeah.
I was in Fort Myers, Florida, Wizzy, so it was Southwest Coast.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, on
Elizabeth.
East Coast,
I
I'm
call her
over Melbourne.
Wizzy.
Yeah.
So, Di, how far was that from Venice?
Venice would be
Quite a
north.
bit, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A half hour? No.
Boy,
Venice, Florida?
Venice
Yeah.
from well, hang on a second.
Isn't it on
From
Venice
Fort
on
Myers,
the
you
other
said?
Because I got a condo in Venice.
I don't
Okay,
know.
wait a minute. You said you were in Fort Myers or Fort Walton?
Fort Myers. So I was like
Fort
north of Naples,
Yeah, Gulf side. Yeah.
Gulf side. What
Right.
north of us was what?
Fort Myers to Venice is an hour and 8 minutes north of Fort Myers.
Okay.
Venice is an hour, a little over an hour,
There you go.
depending on how fast you drive.
Thanks. Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, Google.
Yay, Google.
No. I forget. You know, I haven't been there in a while. I haven't been
I
there
know.
in another
Listen, girl.
10 years, 9 years.
They say it takes an hour to drive from Melbourne to Orlando. Not me. 40 minutes. Because I'm a speed demon. Plus, I have Big Bertha. I have this great big F-250, and people get out of my way because they're like, "Holy shit, that lady's gonna run us over." Yes, yes, get out of the way. But anyway, I just wanted to say hi. I finally got
you're looking
home
forward to Mad Max Furiosa.
Oh yeah,
In
let
that
me
truck.
tell you, because I drive just like I belong in Mad Max. My husband
There you
hates
go.
riding with
Yeah.
me, but I'll tell you
Yeah.
what, I can drive to hours on end. So I enjoy it. I'm weird like that.
The funny thing is that most guitarists would be happy to be strapped to the front of a front end of a vehicle like that, being swung back and forth.
Jamming.
I don't know about that.
I would.
Yeah. You're a little twisted, Brian. What can I tell you?
I'm more than a little twisted, but thank you.
Well, thank you for admitting that.
That's why I like you.
Yes,
Kidding?
having a
All
bit
my
of
friends
cheese.
are a little twisted. Are you freaking kidding me?
What the hell is he eating?
If they weren't, they wouldn't be my friends.
That's what makes us all sane.
Mm-hmm. The ability to come together and act like complete idiots together and just scream as loud as we can about the shit that's going on.
Mm.
But,
Until
well, I
we
won't keep you
change it
guys.
and
I
make
just
certain
wanted to
it
check
doesn't
in with
happen
you.
again.
I did listen to the whole show. I just was driving all over the damn place.
Thanks,
Nice.
Moms. Thanks for calling in.
All right.
Thank you.
We love you guys.
And talk to you soon.
Love you
All
too.
right.
Enjoy.
Bye.
Have
Bye.
fun. See you. Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Yeah. I love moms. No, you know, again, there's somebody who tries to do something for her community.
Yeah.
She just went through this whole thing with the veterans last weekend. That's why she wasn't around.
Yeah. And Tony, those levels were perfect on that call. They were off on the previous calls, but spot on that one. Like, mark those levels. Sorry.
It's going to change every time, I fear.
You are disgusting.
You think?
Every time,
It
well,
is?
every time
Period.
somebody calls in, it's going to change.
Every time somebody calls in, it's going to change. Oh, shit.
That's what
Yeah,
I've been, every time I'm at the helm, which
Oh,
that's over there, the helm.
yeah. Every
That's a
time you
lot
have
of
the
words.
con.
Yeah, so I was going back to the media fail. Mark Elliott said, while the New York Times chose to highlight Hillary's emails on the front page in 2016, there's not a mention that Trump's PAC copied classified documents found at Mar-a-Lago onto an unsecure laptop. These are the editorial decisions that matter. And again, with the misinformation, we've got the New York Times doing this shit. There was nothing found with Hillary's emails. She was never
You know what I'm
found-
going to say about Hillary's emails? 11.5. 11.5 hours that she sat there and never once
It wasn't too cold.
brought up, I plead the fifth. Never once pleaded the fifth. 11.5 hours. There's video of her sitting there going, I've already told you this like 7 times. 11.5 hours. Hillary did not steal any kind of emails. She did not have any kind of issue with the emails. The emails were
The
a fucking
server.
server thing, and it means Jack and shit.
When you-
and Jack left town.
And literally, you've got Donald Trump literally taking the pool water out of his pool to try to flood his computer fucking room where all the fucking servers were.
Forgot that. Yeah.
And then you've got Walt Nada pointing at the camera, going, "Oh, that's a camera. We need to figure out where that could fit." And then literally, we found out a couple days ago that there was more. We've got pictures of Walt Nada moving boxes. I mean, it's just more pictures, and then more shit. Even after 2 searches, there's more classified documents that Donald Trump didn't give over. Of course there
It's
is.
hysterical.
This mother, it's
You want to go
hysterical
back and
because
forth
they're like the
between that
fucking
and her sitting there for 11 and a half hours just answering questions.
yeah, just going yeah,
Yeah,
no,
I've already said this.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
And by the way, no one uses the word Reich in a propaganda video accidentally.
Repeat offender.
No
Reich.
one. Reich.
Yeah. Right.
Repeat offender.
I talk to Germans 3 days a week early in the morning. I would never, ever, ever, ever ask them, how do you pronounce Reich? That is not a thing. And
We
for
learned
someone
from
to
German
put it into
movies.
a video and they said, no, it's different than that.
Reich.
No, it's not. It's
How
not
about
different.
Yeah.
That's what you
How
need
about
to know. I married into a family where people had the numbers tattooed on them. You don't need to know any more than that. You just need to make certain it never, ever, ever fucking happens again.
Yeah. Our ancestors did not storm the beaches of Normandy just so Donald Trump could have a unified Reich. It's the don't even talk to me about fucking dog whistles anymore. I don't even want to hear it.
No, because dog whistles are just going to make my Irish aspect go up, and I'm just going to want to, fight from that point forward. So I have to hold that back every single time. But this kind of shit is already a whole bunch of bullshit, and there's a whole bunch of bullshit yet to come. So we have to hold our ground. We have to keep calm, and we have to make certain that we're voting blue, and that we look at who we're voting for when it comes to the judges, when it comes to the people on your school boards.
Are you ready?
Everybody has to get more
Comes to
involved,
all
period.
the
Shoot
local.
himself.
There's a
Pick
huge
your
population
blues.
that don't vote. They just don't vote. They're disengaged. They fuck politics. All politicians are just as bad because they've been told both
they
sides
have
are
to-
the same. Both sides are not the fucking same.
They have to register to vote, and they have to register to vote for
Right.
blue. Is there anyone in the chat room who's not registered to vote?
I
or do
highly
you know
fucking
people
doubt
who
it,
are?
dude. You're preaching to the choir here.
I know, that's what I'm looking for. And
While
if
they're
you
trying to answer, Lindy Lee says,
read it,
why
that's
did
the
Trump want to
message.
keep stolen documents so badly? Even after the DOJ warned him repeatedly to return them. Even after the FBI searched Mar-a-Lago. Even hiding boxes and
Because
drowning,
the
damning
rules don't
surveillance
apply to-
tape with his pool water. Make no mistake, this thug wanted to sell intel to our enemies. And I have to fucking agree with that. Why would you be so desperate? Because he needs money. Motherfucker is in debt to fucking everyone. He owes like $500 million in court fees here. He owes another fucking $500 million, if not $1 billion, to fucking like Deutsche Bank and fucking
lot more coming.
Russians and fucking all sorts of shit. He owes a shit ton of fucking
Yeah.
money. You're right, Kellahella. Right on the money. For the money. Follow the fucking money. Where's that drop, Tony?
You don't even need to follow the money.
money.
The money already started. You just need to watch the balance of the money for him, and it's not good for him.
Oh God, he looks like
And
a
that's
fucking
great
douche.
for us, really, because that means that he is going to end up at that end of the spectrum where he owes so much more than he possibly could ever make. And that's coming very quickly.
Why do you think Melania is like, bye-bye, bitch? I'm going to
Why
go
do you think
sell
Melania
jewelry
is like,
on
Bannon
QVC right now
will
because
not be taking part in these ceremonies?
I'm going to go sell jewelry on QVC because I need an income.
The second that she stood up for Barron, it's like, oh, there you go.
She put the fucking stomp on that right quick.
Yeah.
She's like, Barron will not be a representative for Republicans in Florida.
Perfect. Can I point out that my good friend, Di, has the greatest Mercedes impersonation I've ever heard.
I do not.
I do
Mercedes.
not know what
I do not.
want.
Actually, it's really way
perfect.
harder. I don't know.
It's perfect, I think.
No,
it's
it
perfect.
is not perfect. It's far from perfect. No, she just
it's
wants
great.
the money and fuck Christmas.
Fuck. So there you go.
Fuck
That's going to be
Christmas.
the new drop. That needs to be everyone's new ringtone this season.
Fuck
Is
Christmas.
Diane saying, "Fuck Christmas"?
My mother. I feel sorry for Barron. So apparently he did show up to the graduation. I heard. I didn't see pictures. Even if I did, I'd be like, psh, I kind of
Did Trump
had a hard
recognize
time
him?
believing it. No, the best is this. Oh my God. Charlie Kirk, and I forgot who else, like, maybe it was Sean Hannity, posting a video of Biden supporters on the streets of New York City when Biden came in to do the interview with Howard Stern. And then they posted it like, these are all the supporters for Donald Trump. Well, funny. I don't see any rat hats, and I don't see any fucking Trump 2020 flags. And I said, no, these are all Biden supporters, and you guys are all a piece of shit
From
liars.
2 years ago.
Just like the Rod Stewart concert thing. This is the crowd from the Rod Stewart. It's in Rio de Janeiro with the fucking mountains in the goddamn background. You guys are dumber than dog shit to fall for this bullshit. Oh
And
my
people
God.
who actually believe that Richard Gere stuck a gerbil up his ass. Think about that. Think about your own ass.
I know.
You could not stuff a gerbil up there. It would not work. This is the kind of thing, I mean, misinformation, disinformation, it happens across the board.
This is the really real world. There ain't no coming
And
back.
if you really look at this, I mean, there's a logical
really
thing there where it won't work. But everyone believed it for a long time, didn't you? You believed it.
Bull, I
didn't
never
you?
believe it, not for one fucking second.
No, I'm talking to people out there in the internet.
No, you're pointing at me, motherfucker, too. So fuck you.
You out there in the interwebs. You believe that Richard Gere took a gerbil up his ass. And that is not feasible. And you know it's not feasible.
No, you gotta get the one that says, I ain't gonna quit. I ain't gonna quit. I ain't gonna quit trying to shove the gerbil in my ass. Which never happened.
They took my thumbs, Tony.
Satire.
They took my thumbs.
Satire. No, but okay, so yeah, the disinformation is on 11 billion.
It is.
And
It is.
so
We
and
all
it's
have
gonna
to
be
watch
like
for it.
this.
We all have to focus.
Well, it's gonna be like this until the election and even after, because he's not gonna.
Definitely.
He's gonna be like, I didn't lose. It was rigged. He's already been saying it's rigged
He's
for
already
a fucking
said
year.
he's not going to accept the results. Yeah.
Yeah, neither are any of his fucking minions.
You're absolutely right.
We have to be prepared for this, people. It's gonna all happen again. It's gonna be like a broken fucking record.
Yeah.
I got no place to go. I know you got those fucking drops before, Tony, but you know.
They took my thumbs.
That's bad labeling on your part.
Wow. Bad on Tony. He is
Instead
getting
of
an
naming it the
admonishment
name of the
on
movie,
air.
you just name it the name of the drop.
So you get nothing.
No.
You lose.
Regardless of the name of the
Good
drop,
day,
we are
sir.
just about at time. But we have had so much fodder to launch cannons at this year, this week, really. It's awesome. I love it. I can't wait to see what next week brings, because we're going to have a verdict. Next week.
We get closing arguments.
Should I bring a pizza or a cake or something? We are going to have a verdict next week. Next show.
Hopefully
What do you
we
think,
have
pizza?
a next. Well, the thing is, as soon as the ruling comes down, he's gonna appeal it. He's gonna
it's
fucking
gonna
appeal
take,
it.
2.5 years of, appellate court, of course, but the initial.
So I wanted to bring up Nikki Haley now endorsing Trump after saying he's unfit, he's unqualified, he's unhinged.
I'm totally voting for him.
And why the fuck would she do this? Now, I am thinking, could it be another Lindsey Graham moment? Did he get some dirt on her about an affair or whatever? I don't know. I'm speculating.
I think she's
okay to
been
make
a little
her look
power
like
hungry
shit.
from the get-go.
I don't know. I have no idea why the fuck the flip-flop. Why the fuck would she flip-flop like this? I really don't.
Why would you expect
for
anyone
VP,
on that side to
I don't think it's for
actually
VP.
be
Because
stable in a position?
wait, HALEYTRUMP. Oh, they have the same amount of letters in their name, because I don't think Donald Trump. I have to agree with Hal. I don't think he would allow anybody in there with a longer last name than he would. Maybe equal letters, but not longer than him. So
I ain't gonna quit.
there you.
I got nowhere else to go.
There you go. That's the
Thank you,
drop
Richard
I was
Gere.
looking for. 20 minutes later.
I ain't gonna quit. I got nowhere else to go.
I don't know. I don't think Donald Trump
Richard
would even.
Gere.
She hurt Donald. She hurt his feelings so much. I don't think he would pick her as VP. Just saying. Go ahead, Brian. Sorry.
Sorry, I totally lost you there for a second, so I don't know what we're talking about. Sorry. You skipped out for a second.
I think that Donald Trump's feelings were so hurt by Nikki Haley and all the fucking shit that she said about him during her campaign against him that he would never pick her.
This is another bet, isn't it?
No, it's not another bet. And please don't eat during the shower. I'm going to have to fucking kick you in the ass.
I stopped eating. I think this is a 1-for-1. I think this is a one beer bet. I would say so. So what's your bet? Your
I don't
bet
want
would
to
be
bet.
that
I want
she's
your
never
fucking
going-
opinion.
She's not going to take him. as she's not going to accept the vice presidency if he extends it?
No, I'm not even saying that. I'm wondering why the fuck she flip-flopped on him after saying all that shit. Number one. Number two, I don't think Trump would ever pick her as VP because she talked too much shit about him. How many times do I have to say it before it sinks in?
No, I wanted to hear it clearer because I think that he's actually going to see her as a benefit for the female right-wing vote. And I think that's, you can't.
All her voters voted for. Hold on, Brian. All the people who voted for her were against Trump.
Yeah.
Now because they hate Trump. Now they hate her too.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not a win. It's a win-win for
he
Biden.
Still might pick her.
I don't see it.
Do we have a one beer bet that he's going to pick her? I think he's going to pick her.
No fucking way. He would never pick a woman. He can't handle women. I know it would look good, but he hates women. He has a visceral reaction to them on a daily. It'd be worse than Pence fucking. And I don't think she would do it anyway. She hates him. She fucking hates him. She was saying that I teach my kids not to do and say what that motherfucker does on a daily basis.
Yeah. Yeah.
She hates him. I think it's a woman,
22
especially a woman
that,
of color. No
she,
fucking way.
That he picks her. 22 ouncer. You have to buy me a 22 ouncer of Bud Light. I have to buy you a 22 ouncer of Heineken. Why
do we have to do these bets? No more bets.
Why not bets? Bets are fun.
All right.
Aren't these fun? These are fun. I thought these are fun. We don't have to do the bet if you don't want to do the bet.
He ain't picking her. That's my bet. And if I win,
the
thing is, guess what? I don't think he'll ever pick a VP because if you're a dictator, you don't need a vice president. That's my actual call. Now, if he picks someone, it's going to be a male, he's going to be white, and he's going to have a short name. It can't be Micro Johnson.
I think he's going to pick her for the. He doesn't have anybody else to bring in the female vote on the right. He doesn't have anybody.
She won't either. She fucking burned
I would
her
hope
bridges.
so. They're going to lose regardless. That's the whole thing.
Bridge.
Keep in mind that we're voting about who we're betting about who is going to be the VP loser vote this next time around because we know that the blue is going to win. We know this.
Well, I wouldn't. I just
Tony,
wouldn't get,
that's entirely
I wouldn't get happy.
inappropriate.
I would stay alert. Let's not get too happy. Let's not give up. We don't know actually anything because of the fuckery.
We're gonna win. We're gonna keep pushing it forward.
Well,
keep
we thought
listening
Hillary
to
was
us.
gonna win.
Share it with
Landslide.
everybody that you know. Come back, and next week we're gonna tell you about more fuckery that we heard about and more shit that you can do to move forward and make certain that we get a blue wave this next election season.
Thanks,
You are a
Brian. We'll see you
disgusting
next
lawyer.
week.
Period.
I'm Dan Russell.
I'm Brian B. Gallagher.
And peace out, y'all. We'll see ya.
See ya.
Shout outs to you, family.
Stepping out of bitchin' cars, couldn't reach the other way to find, so yeah.
Shut up, fighting.
Stepping out of bitchin' cars, have a motor with a dual quad. Stepping out of bitchin' cars, racing to the top of spot. Oh no, oh no. I don't care where she's always in my hair. Don't ask me why, she probably start to cry. Oh yeah.
Yes, we do drive Chryslers.
Sipping down a bitch in cars, race the other way to Mars. Oh no, 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 no. Sipping down a bitch in cars, they're gonna put me behind the bars. Oh no. Stepping out of bitch in cars, have a motor with a dual quad.
I ain't gonna quit.
I don't care where
I
you
got nowhere
go in my
else to go.
head. Don't ask me why, you should probably start to cry. No, no.
We are trailing a long-haired Caucasian in a 1970 Dodge Super B. We are in pursuit right now. He's getting away from us. We lost him. License plate registered to a William Clark Gaffney. Hey, isn't that guitar guy? Last time I heard him play Believer by Ozzy, it was sweet.
Stepping out of bitch in cars, racing to the top of spots. Oh no. Stepping out of bitch in cars, gonna race you all the way to Mars. Oh no, no. Got everyone to do. Stepping out of bitch in cars, and motor into a quad. I don't care, cause she's always in my hand. Don't ask me why, she will start to cry. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Shout out to you, family.
50 cat boxes!
Stepping out of bitch in cars, gonna race you all the way to first, so yeah. Stepping out of bitch in cars, have a motor with a dual quad.
Now you're an asshole. You got that? You're an asshole.
Stepping out of bitch in cars, racing to the top of spot. Oh no. Oh no. I don't care where she's always in my hair. Don't ask me why, she probably start to cry. Oh yeah.
And then you need to kick that fucking door down.
Yes, we do drive Chryslers.
Stepping out of bitch in cars, race the other way to Mars. Oh no, 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 no. Stepping out of bitch in cars, they're gonna put me behind the bars. Oh no.
Violated!
Stepping out of bitch in cars, have a motor with a dual quad. I don't care where she's always in my hair. Don't ask me why, you should probably start to cry. No, no.
We are trailing a long-haired Caucasian in a 1970 Dodge Super B. We are in pursuit right now.
Donald Trump show is over.
He's getting away from us. We lost him.
It's over.
License plate registered to a William Clark Gaffney. Hey, isn't that guitar guy?
He is the guitar.
One time I heard him play Believer by Ozzy, it was sweet.
Stepping out of bitch in cars, racing to the top of spots. Oh no. Stepping out of bitch in cars, gonna race you all the way to Mars. Oh no, no. Got everyone to do. Stepping out of bitch in cars, and motor into a quad. I don't care, cause she's always in my hand. Don't ask me why, she will start to cry.